I made over 7 figures in commissions. Okay. I was selling since I was 14. I was just getting in the online space. And I said, all right, what are these people like? How do they like be promoted to? Let's break the mold. Let's buy a fancy car and let's recruit everybody because everybody's going to ask, what do you do for a living? Because you bought the car, right? So I go to the dealership, start asking for, I want this white Lamborghini. A guy comes up to me, starts selling me the features of the car, etc. He's like, man, this car, it has these sticks and it has these blind shifts and this, and it's this twin turbo, and he's taking me in the back and the front. He's talking to me. I'm looking at my watch. I'm like, pal, I gotta go because I'm literally 20 minutes late for my next meeting, and it's business first, car second. Thank you so much. He shook my hand, and I knew he was looking at me, being like, I knew this fucker was never gonna buy. Right? I already know what he's saying, and I came in regular attire. I came in my shorts and probably a t-shirt or a hoodie in Toronto, Canada. I don't know how I was dressed, and then I knew I went back to my office, right? And I'm just working. And then the next week, I'm like, how the fuck did I buy this car? So I call one of my sales guys. He's like, yo, let's go back to the dealership. Let's go buy this car. I go back to the dealership. I see the first guy there. He says, oh, you're back? The same guy. He says, oh, dude, you're back? And I said, oh, you still got a job? You suck, dude. I'm like, give me somebody else that can sell me a car, right? Guy walks me through the car. And he's like, man, how old are you? And I said, I'm 24 years old. Another salesman. He's like, oh, nice, 24. He's like, dude, what do you do for a living? I'm like, I'm in sales and now I have a sales agency. The first thing he says, man, are you hiring? And I said, no, but when I am, I'll hit you up, man. He's like, I like that, man. He's like, anyways, dude, he's like, come here. He's like, listen, you're 24 years old. I know you probably like a Lambo, whatever, the guts of the car, it's beautiful. But he's like, can you do me one favor, right? And this is where he said, can you promise you'll do me one favor? I said, yeah. He said, never tint the windows of these cars. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, he's like, you promise me. Don't go inside the car. He's like, shake my hand that when you buy today, you won't tint the windows. And I'm like, okay, bro. I'm like, I'll shake your hand. I won't tint the windows, right? Yeah. And he said, if you tint the windows of this car, don't buy the car. He's like, they're untinted right now. He's like, most people tint them. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, bro. I said, yeah, okay, I won't tint them. I'm looking at this guy. This guy's crazy. He said, listen, if you were my age, a little bit older, 35, 40 years old, he said, okay, maybe you tint the windows, right? You want to be low key. You don't buy he said, Daniel, you don't buy this car because you want to be low key. You're trying to be high key. You want people to know your fucking name and who's driving that car. So he's at a traffic light. If you tint these windows, nobody's going to ask you what you do for a living, but I guarantee you don't tint these windows. On your way to dinner, what's your favorite restaurant in Toronto? Oh, my favorite restaurant's XYZ. Dude, when you go to the restaurant, not only are people going to be asking what do you do for a living because they're going to see a 24-year-old young buck driving the car, and you're gonna get leads through that. Yeah. Don't tint the windows. He said the second thing is on your way to dinner, if you don't have a date, he's like 3 girls will look at you and they'll give you the eyes. You roll down the window and bring them in. Don't tint the windows. He shook my hand. He sold me the dream. I bought the car. Because I'm like, you don't buy the car because you want a car. He said, dude, at the highest form of life, this guy was smart. What do you mean he sold me the dream? Well, first thing you know, I was a businessman. I wanted to make money.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the first thing. That's the sales dream. I wanted to make money. He knew my dream. So when people ask like, oh, sales dream, I said every client has a dream within them, right? The second thing is, highest human psychology of a male. Women rule the world. Everything you do is for a woman at the end of the day. Now, some men will be like, well, no. I guarantee you, everything you do, it's either for a girlfriend, your mom, your wife, everything's for the woman. But men always think we control the world. The first thing he said was money, woman. Right? Money, woman. He's buying the car, and he's definitely not buying this car for his mother to sit in the passenger. He's definitely buying this either for a girlfriend or for some other chicks, right? Woman, he started off with that. He knew, hey, women run men. And he knew that because he's probably sold 1 million men. And when he's sitting down with 1 million men, as much as the men think they're making a decision, it's always wife's side be like, I like gray. Okay, babe, we'll get gray. He's probably heard that 1 million times, right? He knows that women rule everything, right? So he went back to that. And he sold me the dream, and I bought the car. People buy results, the outcome, and the dream. They don't buy the features in their product. Hey, by the way, guys, if you guys are watching this, subscribe to the freaking Sales Bros. These guys are smashing it, okay? They're upcoming right now. They have the right systems, the right operations. These guys are freaking smashing it. Subscribe to their YouTube channel. Jameel and Moose are smashing it. These are the guys to look out over the next 5 years. If you don't know them, you're going to know them now, and you're going to know them in the next 5 years, you're going to know them in the next decade.
So what do you think people most usually overcomplicate within sales? What's that one thing that people like, it is simple, it's a very simple process, and they overcomplicate it?
First thing, they try to identify every single person as a different buyer. Okay. Human beings are the same, dude. Human beings are the same. Let's just cut the crap. Human beings do two things. They either, I'm not buying shit from you today, or, oh my God, I'm so excited to buy. They do two things. And aside from those two things, the other ones just buy from you. Send me over the invoice, I'll pay it, right? So the prospects are always in two states. They can't be in 5, 6. You're just trying to figure out which state the prospect's in. Is he defending right now? How do I lower the defense? Is he hyping me up? Is he over embellishing? How do I take back control, right? So the first thing is understanding what state your prospects are in. It's the first thing. Are they defense? How do you break a defense? Are they over embellished? How do you control an over embellished buyer? Second thing is, it's not what you say about your product. It's what you say when somebody says no to your product that is the second most important thing. Everybody tries to study the product, but it's what you say when somebody says no to your product that makes a salesman fucking great.
Go deeper on that.
Yeah, it's what you say when somebody says no. It's your objections. So when somebody says no to you, it's how good you are at handling that objection. The moment you go, when somebody says, well, I need to think about it, you're like, okay, like that right there, you're fucked. That little, but like, what do you're fucked. You just lost all authority. The client's just telling you, man, like, dude, I'm a little bit scared right now. Like, I don't trust you or your program that I think it can actually help me. Please help me better than I can help myself. That's all that's going through the client's head. I don't know how to make a decision right now, bro. That's what he's thinking. And the salesperson's like, oh, maybe this person doesn't want to buy. No, they fucking want to buy, bro. They're on a phone call with you. But because you were a little bit hesitant and you're a little bit, he smelled that and he's like, this might not be the person.
That right there, what he just said.
Yeah.
They want to buy because they're on the phone with you.
Yeah, they're on a phone call with you.
That frame, that's like one of the biggest like mindset frames I've seen work for sales.
They booked a call.
They booked a call. They're down to buy. You're in the way. It's you.
Dude, they don't watch people on Instagram for 10 seconds. So if somebody booked a call with you, obviously they want to change their life or change something inside of their business, right? Good. So the reason why I'm telling you this is because number one, they booked a call, so you got to get motivated as fuck. Like it's always your perception about a prospect. My perception, you guys can obviously tell is positive. I'm like, this person wants to change their fucking life. Yeah. Some people are like, oh man, hopefully we can close this guy. What do you mean hopefully, dude? This guy just said, please change my life. Yeah. He doesn't watch me on TikTok for 5 seconds. Right. Now he's booking a call for 15 minutes. Dude, this guy wants to change some shit. Yeah. They have TikTok brain. They're giving you 15 minutes or an hour? Oh my God, come on. But the second thing was also, I was saying like, you know, when I was talking about when you said dig deeper on the objections, the stutter, people like to be led from people that can lead them better than they can lead themselves, right? So now when they're on the call, their only thing is thinking like, please hold my hand because I don't fucking know what's happening right now inside of my life, right? So they're hoping that you don't stutter. They're hoping that you have the objections down packed. Some people are testing you. Some people are literally just like, hey man, I'm scared to do this, so send me over some information. And once you get emotional, like, well man, what do you need information about, man? Like we're already on a phone call. Well, why are you getting so emotional, man? See, if somebody was good, they'd be like, hey, 150%, man, let me get you out your email. I'm going to send you over some information because I got to get to my next call. What's your email? Well, it's janet123@gmail.com. Perfect, Janet. I'm going to send you over an email. And inside of that email that I'm going to send you, do you want me to put a little bit more information where you were a little bit hesitant and confused about, you know, the actual product to see if this product is right for you and the offer is right for you and the coaching is right for you? Do you want me to put a little bit more about the investment and break down the numbers to see if you're going to get a return on investment? Or do you want me to put a little bit more about the time it's going to take to actually become successful inside of our program? Which one were you still a little bit hesitant about tonight? So I'll send over you an email right now or maybe after my next call. And now she's thinking like, oh, he's actually going to send me over an email so I can get off this phone call. So now I dropped her shoulders. And now because I dropped her shoulders, she's going to say, she's going to give me the truth. Salespeople have a problem with getting clients to talk. So now I got the truth and she's going to say, well, yeah, it's just a little bit about, you know, the investment. Like I had another investment. Oh, it wasn't send me over some information. Now she's talking about the money. Because I had the ability to lead you through that. And because I had the ability to do that with no emotions and getting emotional, be like, what the fuck do you got to think about? Why do you need me to send you over some information? I didn't get emotional. I'm like, all right, watch this, how I lead this conversation to get the truth, right? I said, yeah, I'm going to let you exit. And when I can get you to exit, I can pull you back in. And I pulled her back in after, and then she gave me the real objection. And then as a salesperson, you're like, oh, that's my fault. I forgot to show you about the return on investment. Or was money the only thing that was, you know, stopping you? And then she's like, well, yeah, it was. If I can do X, Y, Z, what else? And then you can start dealing with a different objection, right? So a salesperson just really knows how to navigate. They can handle 3-4 objections in one conversation.
For sure. Very interesting, man. Okay, so I want to change gears a little bit. So, dude, I mean, we've talked before. We actually just partnered on a deal, and you've been basically the king of remote sales.
Yes.
That's Daniel G. Daniel G is the king of remote sales. How much money have you made with your sales agency?
Millions.
How many millions?
Millions. We're not going to say it on camera, but millions.
Okay, he's made millions on sales. Okay, got it. Okay, so let's do this, man. Let's go through every single part of the sales process from prospecting to closing and objection handling, selling this phone.
Sure. Jameel, what do you do for a living, by the way?
I'm a salesman.
You're in sales?
Yeah.
Nice, man. What type of sales?
I do remote sales.
Remote sales. What does that mean? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so I sell for high-ticket coaches. So we sell their high-ticket offers to people that are willing and able to change their lives.
What do you mean? What do you mean tickets? Like tickets to events?
No. So we actually sell basically what we do. When people have a coaching program, we change people's lives. That's what we do. Man.
And what kind of coaching programs?
We do real estate.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Real estate. What else?
We also do YouTube coaching. We also do Instagram coaching. So every single, basically any different avenue where people are trying to make a change, they need the knowledge to understand how. That's what we do.
So you like sort of bridge the gap?
We bridge the gap.
So you're like a matchmaker. You find the clients, you solve the clients' problems, and then boom, you got a good fucking offer, and then boom, you matchmake them, you make them in freaking love, you take your commissions and you move on.
Kinda.
Nice. How much commissions do you guys usually make on a deal?
Anywhere from 15 to 25%.
15 to 25%? And how large are the deals?
They could be anywhere from 3K to 15K.
I'm giving you guys some ad material right now, by the way. You guys copy that? Oh, nice. Love it, dude. Love it. Well, let me ask you a question, right? Obviously, we're sitting down right now, and you and Moose are sitting down with me looking how to expand your business. Let me ask you a question. Why would it be important right now to have phones inside of your sales agency, which, number one, right, that don't lose signal, right? Because a lot of the old phones are losing a lot of signal. Why would it be beneficial for you guys to have phones that are durable? By the way, the second biggest thing right now, because you guys are closing your deals over speaker, you said in the beginning stage?
We are.
Speaker and Zoom?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, they can integrate all the apps under one central system. So all your reps are very versatile, so they don't have to move around, and go to different sections of the warehouse to close out their deals because you guys have an office, and something that can last a little bit longer, so they don't have to find chargers where phones can actually last over 24 hours with the new iPhones. Let me ask you a question. Why would you guys even think about making the switch to something new inside of the business?
For us, man, I mean, the biggest thing is not losing signal.
But why don't you guys just stay with the old phones that you guys said were losing signals?
We can't afford it, man. I mean, right now we've lost at least 2 deals a week, specifically because we cannot hear our prospects correctly.
Yeah, so you're stuttering over the phone, and then what happens?
And the call drops, and then it's hard to get them back on the line, and then by the time that they hop back on, the excitement's not there, we've lost the connection.
Time kills all deals.
Yeah, of course. How much is like a deal average per deal close? You said about $1,000 commissions?
Yeah.
$500 to $1,000?
About that.
So if you guys lose 2 deals a week almost on average, times by 52 weeks, we're talking about a $104,000 problem. Would it make sense to invest in phones for the whole agency? Not just one phone right now, because you told me to sell a phone. I'm selling your whole fucking office phones right now. Would it make sense to, invest in the agency $10,000 to stop losing $104,000?
Never thought about it, but yeah.
Okay, open up your phone, put me on speaker. Oh, I got your phone. Let's sign the deals. Closed.
Done.
But I wanted to walk people through that process because I did that very fast, right? The first thing was we went into the presentation stage and I started asking you questions about your business. The first thing I wanted to understand was what's the priorities, right? If anybody looks at that conversation, second thing was I wanted to understand, what are the benefits, how much do you make, etc. And people only move when they feel like something's going to be taken away from them. That's where urgency comes in. So all I did was as a smart salesperson, you always make a comparison. So they got to compare something to something because $10,000 is a lot of money for a phone. $1,000 is a lot of money for a phone. Compared to what? It's not a lot of money if they're going to lose $10,000. So there's always a comparison and an anchor. You got to figure out what their anchor is when somebody says it's expensive, or you got to create the anchor of the pain. So my anchor was, okay, let me figure out what would lose if he doesn't have the best fucking phones? And I anchored my 10,000 to 104,000. Most people don't know how to position an anchor. So most people don't have a sales problem. First thing is the hello problem. Second thing is a positioning and an anchor problem. It's a positioning problem. They don't know how to position their offer correctly. All money is a lot of money compared to what? So if somebody all money is a lot of money, but compared to what is always my question. Like, a client should say it's expensive because they're comparing your offer to something else. They have another anchor. So if you don't know how to position your business the right way, they're always going to say it's too expensive. Yeah, but compared to what? I was just on a training call like 50 minutes ago before you guys came. And I said, the reason why you're getting an objection about a $400 offer that you're selling, it was a $500 offer. I said, because in their head, they're comparing it, because you're pitching it as a side hustle, so they're just comparing it to a side hustle, so now it becomes expensive. But I said, if you had the ability to position your sales offer, that $500 package that you're selling, to a $50,000 business, it would make $500, the client would feel like they're robbing you. So the goal is, how do you position it to 50,000 bucks? Well, hey man, by the way, you know, this is one of the only things in the world where now you have the ability not to buy a fee of a franchise that's 50,000 plus have inventory that's 5,000 plus pay for employees that's 2,000 plus being, you know, very versatile and, you know, not paying for overhead costs, which is another 2,000, and a website that's another 1,000. All that is $60,000. We can do all of that simultaneously in one central system, and you can scale it around the world for $500. What makes a little bit more sense? Buying that for $60,000 or investing right now for $500? I position the offer to now a fucking business model where they can make the comparison. So great salespeople know how to anchor a comparison of price, because then it's always expensive.
So so you're taking care of that price objection way before it comes up.
The client should feel like they're robbing you.
They're robbing you.
They should always have this thought inside of their head: where the fuck were you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the price is always high. 100%. And a salesperson's always thinking like, yo, compared to what? Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So let's take it back to the hello. So the prospecting, finding new business. So this is the place where most new sales reps get involved in sales. They're either in a job where they got to hunt for their own leads,
correct,
or they're coming in as a setter.
Sure.
What's the best setting process?
The best setting process? Go up to people. Step number one, if you're doing it online, so we'll do a situation online. Tell people how you found them. Step number one. Hey, Barbara, by the way, was scrolling through Instagram, was on the Explore feed. I seen that you're a health and wellness coach. I actually help a lot of health and wellness coaches like yourself get paid a little bit more. But before I even decide, to partner up with you and maybe show you a little bit about our services, what the heck do you do? I freaking love your page. Do you run an online fitness coaching or do you do it in person? I just want to better understand. I showed you how I found you. I told you what I do, but I pulled it away and asked you an open-ended question. So if somebody can go back to that, I said that very fast. I said how I found you because everybody's thinking, how the fuck did this person find me? Tip number one about prospecting, always tell people how you found them. Tip number two is sprinkle the benefit, move the benefit. So it's like, hey, by the way, I help people like you, but you can't fucking have that right now. Yeah, I help people, health and wellness coaches like yourself make an additional source of income, but by the way, you can't have that right now, take it away from them. Hey, by the way, do you do fitness coaching online or offline? I just want to better understand. Open-ended question, get the conversation going. So I know how to open up the conversation rather than just saying, hey, like, by the way, man, do you want to make a little bit more money online on top of what you're currently doing? That sucks. It fucking sucks. No, I don't want to make money online. You don't know who the heck I am. I have a bio. You could research my bio. You could see that I'm a fitness coach. You can add a little bit of a benefit. You could do a little bit more in today's day and age with prospecting. So I was a person that came into like direct sales and network marketing. I absolutely fucked this shit up because everybody was always saying the same shit. Hey man, would you like to know my trades? Would you like to make more money on top of your job? Fuck you, no, it's boring. And I was the guy to come in being like, dude, we're in the 21st century in social media. People have bios. You can look at their bios. You can see what time they eat, sleep, and shit at. Use all that information, 2.5 seconds. I can go through somebody's bio and see literally they're a marathon runner. They run for this. They promote these products. I can go through the stories and use that all in my opening message. Hey, by the way, I seen that you love this, love that, love this, love that. I actually help people like that. But before even that, what the heck is it you do? I just want to better understand to see if we're going to have a valuable conversation. So you got to use data against that person because people, it's easier to sell people more than ever now because people tell you how to sell them. You know all their wants and needs just from their profile. It's so easy to sell me, man. You know Daniel G goes for a run. He likes this, he likes that, he likes this, cares about his health. He does this, he does that. You know all the points if you care and you look. You got to seek to understand and not seek to reply. 100%. And that's always what good salespeople do. They're good observers. They're great observers, You guys, like, if people are watching this, when we first met, you guys did the first thing, hey man, here's some cigars. Here's some cigars. Dude, the guy likes smoking. Here's some cigars. This art is being lost, dude. This art of just observing people, it's being lost. For sure. And if you're really bad at it, take notes on people. So if you have conversations, the biggest thing I tell my sales reps to do is like, hey, how many tabs do you have on this guy from the first conversation? So you could use it on the second conversation. Because your memory should never be able to remind you about everything.
CRM management.
Yeah, your memory should never be able to remind you. It should always be a system and an operation that reminds you about what's happening with that client. So like, you don't want to have a good memory. Who cares? You don't need a good memory to make money.
100%. You should be talking to so many people that you have
a bad memory.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't remember. Exactly. I literally don't remember what I did today or yesterday. Yeah. And if you ask me what city I'm going into next week, I don't know. Or what I did next week, I don't know.
Bro, I got off my last call. I have no idea who it was for.
Yeah. There you go. It's good. It's a good problem. But as long as it's logged in there, you care about your business. You got to be doing, like, if somebody has a problem and they come up to me and they're like, hey, Daniel, by the way, you know, I was talking to this girl last week, right? And she ghosted me last week. This girl, Kara, ghosted me last week. Dude, this girl wants ghosting advice right now. But her real problem is this. How the fuck do you remember who ghosted you last week? You do not have a ghosting problem. You have a prospecting problem.
1,000,000%.
How do you remember? No. I know you've been sitting in bed thinking about the fucking girl that's ghosting you in sales. You don't have a ghosting problem. You have a prospecting problem. You don't have enough people to close, so you're thinking about one person. You think about that person never wants you inside of life.
Dating.
Bars.
You don't have enough options inside of life. Nobody wants a person where I'm your only option inside of life. Everybody wants somebody that's busy. I am not the center of your attention. Everybody wants something that they can't have. So most people, that's why I went back to it. They don't have a follow-up problem. They don't have a ghosting problem. They don't have a closing problem. They have a not enough people problem, dude. They don't have enough fucking people to close.
And that changes your mindset too. Because all of a sudden, when you're on that call, you're not desperate. You're talking with a different level of confidence, a different level of certainty than you ever would if this is the one call you have for 2 weeks.
Yeah, you want to do more. And if you can't, you look for more work. The first thing we did when we were coming up the elevators was like, I was like, yo, how are things going? They're like, you guys said, we need more. We need more. Fill it up more. Fill it up more. We need more. We need to be jam-packed all day. We need more. We got to stop thinking we need more. We need more. I don't like when people eliminate and then they have so much empty space and then you start thinking about certain things that you shouldn't think about. Clients you shouldn't think about. Bad vices you shouldn't think about. You don't have time for bad vices or bad people or bad clients if you're on to the next one. So people just don't have enough. They just don't have enough because you might get a bad batch of clients that all say no to you, but if you have more, it'll suffocate the bad batch of clients. They don't have enough.
All right, so you get the guy on the call.
Yeah.
What's the first step from here?
Just make him relax. You know, me and Moose were just talking about this during a break. We were saying like, you know, one of the clients that we serve together, you know, he has the ability just to get people to talk. And I think, you know, some people like, you know, you hear all these scripts where it's like, you know, you got to figure out if they're buying right in the first 5 seconds of a conversation. It's like, yeah, if you don't want the person to talk to you. If you don't want the person to talk to you, like you're a closer. Your job is to do what? Figure out where they're fucking up. Get the person to open up. Build some rapport. So your job is not to be like, hey, by the way, towards the end of the call, I just want to know a yes or no if you're buying today. I think it's great. But like their shoulders are up being like, oh, now he's going to sell me some shit. But Daniel, you have to show their intent. No, what you need them to do is talk to you. So if they talk to you, they tell you what they're fucking up on. And they tell you what they're fucking up on and what they need more of. You come in, you solve the problem, you close the deal. What, you're scared you can't close a deal in the end? That's your job in the beginning to qualify them, ask them questions, etc. But your job is to the opposite of raising up their defense in the beginning stage of the conversation. My thing would be like, hey, by the way, Jameel, I just want to better understand, man, you know, what you got going on, what you're rocking with, man, see if we can actually support you. If I feel like I can support you, man, I'll definitely show you what we did for other clients that, you know, moved into the high-ticket remote coaching and sales programs too as well. And that way, you know, if you're ever looking to transition, at least you also know what we got going on here, so you have us in the back of your pocket for the future too as well. So, hey, dude, let me ask you a question. What do you got? And boom, dive right into it. So it's like, he's not so intrusive. But I just need you to talk, man. That's the problem. People don't know how to get people to talk. So in the beginning, you're asking me, what do? Get people to talk. People never have a sales problem. They have a talking problem.
Interesting.
Yes.
So the guards are up. You got to lower the guards.
In the first 2 seconds.
Okay, so you lower the guards first 2 seconds. Like literally walk me through like what's that first question? What's a good question people can use to like really draw people's guards?
Yeah. So what's new?
Interesting. Okay, so just super casual.
Yeah, man. What's new?
Yeah.
I can ask that even before I do the opening agenda. Jameel, my guy. Yeah, what's up, man? Is this Jameel? Yeah, it is. Jameel, it's Daniel G. How you doing, man? Oh, I'm doing good. Hey, Jameel, you got our 15 minutes plucked out? Yeah, I do, man. Nice, man. Hey, dude, before we dive into it, man, what's new? What do you got going on? What do you got going on in life? Oh, yeah, you know, the kids, Jameel talks. What new signals that you and I knew each other before? It's just, I can say that to anybody. Yo, man, what's new? Yay, I can go to anybody. I literally go downstairs right now to a Valley guy, never spoke to him before, and be like, man, what's new in life? Yeah, bro, you know, kids. And he just starts talking to me like I know the guy, right? So that can just, because remember, words create thoughts and images and experiences. So those words carry a thought where it's like, if somebody asks me that, that's my friend. So now it's like, oh, shit. So like, I always tell people, if you're a little bit nervous, just ask people, man, what's new? And kick back your seat. Be like, hey, man, what's new inside of life?
Okay, I like that. I like that. So then from there, it's a soft transition.
Yeah, from there, you're building your sales bridge, and what that means is you're seeing like, hey man, so like what exactly you do right now for work? Are you in work? Are you in school? Are you doing it full time? Are you doing it part time? Nice. What got you into it? Dig a little bit deeper on their work experience. Hey, what got you into it? Why'd you get into it? How long have you been doing it? Nice. How much money you currently making monthly on that? You got anything going on? Nice, man. Well, hey, obviously, you reached out to us because you want a little bit more. What exactly are you looking for in terms of income? Like you're at 5,000, you want to make 10,000. Nice. Now we're at an income gap. We're at $5,000. Well, why haven't you already made 5,000, man? There's so many other online offers. Forget us. Why haven't you waited for so long to start? Nice. Why start now though? Like, why not just keep staying $5,000? Why the heck do you need to make 10,000? So I'm bridging this gap. And then I would say like, okay, dude, like, forget about us. Why haven't you like called somebody else and did it already? I always try to remove the bias. Yeah. It's never about us. It's like, because if you don't remove the bias, they're always like, this person's going to sell me, right? And then I remove the bias and then I say, well, hey, by the way, if I could show you a way where we're able to help people like you, Jameel, do X, Y, Z, right? Would you be open and willing to look at something like that? And then I transition. Well, I think we can help you. Let me show you how to do it, right? Most people, you get their problems by doing two things. You say, hey, by the way, where do you want to go, right? Where are you? Where do you want to go? Why haven't you done it? Would you like my help? Like, where are you right now? I'm doing X, Y, Z. How much income? Da, da, da. Where do you want to go? I want to be doing this, this, and this, and this, right? Nice. Why haven't you done it already? Because I don't know how to do it. I don't know. I don't trust people. They start giving you their problems. That's the why. What do you do, right? What do you do right now? Where do you want to go? Why haven't you done it? Would you like my help? And then boom, you go into presenting.
All right, guys. So it's time to do a masterclass in objection handling. Okay, perfect. So we're just gonna run through them. So we're just gonna throw them at Daniel. Daniel's gonna handle them.
All right, so let's rock it.
Dude, I gotta talk to my wife first.
Yeah, 150%. By the way, what's your wife's name?
Virginia.
Oh, Virginia. Nice. How long have you guys been married for?
We've been married for about 3 years.
Oh, amazing, man. Amazing. Have you guys ever done something like this in the past or anything, or no?
No, this will be the first time.
Oh, nice. Right on. Well, first of all, congrats for even taking a look at this. Hey, by the way, how much time do you think you would need to sit down with your wife to just consult on something and just, speak to her about something like this? You want about a day? You want me to give you a week? What are you looking at the time frame? Just so I have it written down in my calendar.
Yeah, just give me like 2 days.
Got it. 2 days. Let me just write it down. And dude, if I hit you back up, or if we pencil in something now in the next 2 days, 2:30 p.m. Eastern work good?
Perfect.
On Wednesday?
Perfect.
Awesome. Let me just lock it in, 2:30 p.m. Eastern. And by the way, you said you're going to be working this business alone, right? You're going to be doing it. Your wife just want to get a pair of eyes with your wife on it?
Yeah, she makes all the decisions.
Nice. Oh, she makes the decisions. Oh, okay. So she makes all the decisions on something.
Yeah, of course. You know how it is. Happy wife, happy life.
Okay. Well, the first thing is I wouldn't be in this position. Okay. Yeah. See what I mean, guys? Yeah. Well, we're going to pause it. See, I wouldn't be in this position. If she made the decisions, that's me fucking up as a salesperson. I should have known that in the beginning stage. That's a qualifying question. Are there anybody else other than yourself that makes a decision on something like this? He says wife, we stop the conversation, we get the wife on the phone. Oh, but let's just say I fucked up and let's keep going with this objection. Yeah. Oh, she makes all the decisions on something like this? Yeah. Because I was about to go one avenue, which was like, you want me to see what avenue I was going on? Yeah. So you're just getting a pair of eyes on something like this? Yeah, but you make all the decisions? Yeah. Hey, by the way, this is the first avenue I was going to go. Hey, by the way, just because you're going to work the business yourself, right? Let me ask you a question. Aside from just your wife, because I know you said you're going to be working this yourself, what can I send you over so you and your wife can consult on something like this that you were still a little bit confused about and hesitant about? That way, when you do something like this, even if your wife says yes and you're still a little bit sketched out, you're not sketched out. Because your wife, if you're still hesitant and confused and your wife's like, yeah, let's go do this, and you're still hesitant and confused, dude, don't join us. You know what I mean? So what can I send you over to discuss with your wife that you were still a little bit hesitant, confused about? Was it a little bit more about like the product, the investment of something like this, or like you actually succeeding because you've never been in sales before?
Yeah. Honestly, man, I think it's more me succeeding.
Yeah. Why do you say that?
I've been in construction my whole life.
Where'd the wife go? She's gone. The objection left. You see what I mean? The objection's gone. The wife's gone. And now the other avenue was like, no, my wife makes a decision on something like this. Yeah. Awesome. Hey, I respect that. My job is not to split up and divorce you guys, right? My job is to make you guys happier and better and have a great freaking life and make more money and travel the world. That's why we're on a conversation. Let's do this. Forget about today. Hey, you said Virginia, correct?
Yeah.
Hey, what are you in Virginia doing tomorrow at 7?
We should be free.
Okay, nice. First thing I do is I clear the calendar. I always clear the calendar. I don't say, do you guys want to join a meeting tomorrow at 7? No, I clear the calendar. I say, what are you guys doing tomorrow at 7? We should be free. Boom. I open space now in the calendar, right? Second thing I do, here's what we're going to do. Get Virginia to pop on a quick 5-minute phone call, because now I'm getting the decision maker. Get this Virginia to pop on a quick 5-minute phone call. That way, I could show Virginia, just like I showed you today, exactly what we got going on inside of the program, right? And I'm not going to try to sell her. My job is just to answer all of her questions, just like I answered all your questions. I think you could sell her best. Jameel, honestly, that's not my job. I think you could sell her best. That's not my job. So my job is just to show her everything that I showed you. And number two, if she has any questions, just answer all her questions. Give you guys all the information. That way you guys can go back home, whether that's tomorrow after 7 p.m. and both make an informed and educated decision together. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern work best. So what I'm saying to the person is like, hey, bring her on the call. So it's a safe place to bring her. I'm not going to close her. You're going to close her. You guys are going to make a decision together. Come on the call, take all the information, ask questions, and leave the call. She shows up to the call. I just need her to get her to show up to the call. I'm back in prospecting mode. The moment they give me the wife objection, I'm prospecting the wife to get her freaking ass on the call.
Dude, it was huge what he just did right there too. He didn't emasculate the dude.
Yeah.
He didn't like make him feel like a bitch. He still made him.
I'm like, dude, you closer. Yeah. You're the freaking closer. Number one. Number two, I'm also not going to try to close your wife, because if you think I'm going to close your wife, now Jameel's going to be like, no, fuck that. I'm not going to let this guy close my wife. I'm not going to let this guy close my husband if it's a girl and her husband. She's like, I don't know. She doesn't. You don't even want. No. You don't want to even feel like you're bringing your wife or your husband on a call and make them feel like that they're going to be in that space. You got to make it a safe, comfortable space for them to bring their husband. That's why I said you got to prospect again. You're back in prospecting. Give them the open, give them the exit. Give them the invite, give them the exit. You know?
And you got to keep the poker face throughout that. You can't be like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, bring them on, man. Just let them pop on a call. Let me answer some questions. That's why you guys can go back home, make an informed and educated decision. For sure. All right, next one.
Okay, next one. So, Daniel, I just need some time to think about it, man.
150%, man. Hey, by the way, let me just ask you a question. You want to take like a day, a week, a month?
Maybe a week.
A week?
Yeah, I'll sleep on it.
Just 1 week?
Yeah, just 1 week.
Dude, let's take 2 weeks. Let's do 2 weeks. Let's at least do 2 weeks.
I'm comfortable with that.
Right? Let's at least do 2 weeks. Let's push it out for 2 weeks, next Friday. Because regardless, whenever you whenever you make a decision, whether it's now, whether it's a week down the road, or whether it's 2 weeks down the road, you're going to need to be certain about a few different things, right? So I'm going to put in an email. I'm going to give you 2 weeks to think about it, right? Maybe even 4. Let's give you 4, dude. Okay. We'll put 4 weeks. Let's put 4 weeks in the calendar. I'll follow up with you next month. But at least let me send you over some information to think about, because you're going to be certain, whether it's today, you make a decision, or you make a decision in the next 4 weeks, you're still going to have to be certain about a few different things inside of the business. Because if you were certain today about everything that I'm about to show you in an email, then you would buy. So what were you still a little bit uncertain about, so I could throw it in an email when I give you 4 weeks to think about it? Were you still a little bit uncertain about the product? Were you still a little bit uncertain about the time, or about the skills that it's going to take to become successful, or the money you're going to invest? Like, what were you still a little bit uncertain about? Because if you're certain, you would say yeah right now.
Yeah, no, it's true. Maybe it's the time that it would take for me to actually get the results that I'm looking for.
Oh, got it. Okay, objection moved. I'm back in. It's now a time thing. It's not I need to think about it. But let me give you guys something, man. Every single objection always has, we can always point fingers at people, but remember, if we point the finger, we got 3 pointing back at us, right? So it's like, how do I as a salesperson be like, if they give me a money objection, every single objection is a reflection of what we can do better. So if every single objection, if you can literally say, well, fuck, I can complain all day about people not having the money, or I can just position my offer better, right? Because it's a reflection. Every single objection that you get inside of sales is a reflection of what you could do better as a salesperson. So if somebody gives me an objection where say, I don't have the money, okay, I can't point at the prospect because it doesn't get me better. The next conversation, I can be like, shit, maybe I can position my offer better, a $500 offer, to show them they're really getting $50,000 of value, so they never give me the money objection. They literally feel like they're robbing me once they get off a phone call. So instead of making them feel like they're spending $500, they feel like they're making the best fucking investment of $500 on the next phone call. So maybe you're complaining about a prospect not having money, but you suck at positioning your offer. Maybe you're complaining about prospects always saying when they come off a phone call like, oh, I just don't, I just need some time to think about something like this. But in reality, you could do a better job of building urgency on the phone call. And if you were better at building urgency on the phone call, they would never give you a time objection. If somebody says, I need to speak to my husband or my wife, and damn right, they make the decision, well, that means on a phone call, you weren't the authority figure, so they felt like they had to get authority from somebody else. Sales is always a freaking objection. It's always a reflection. Every single objection we get is a reflection of where we can do better. Because that's how you become a beast inside of sales. You're not just thinking, man, how do I rebuttal this guy? You're thinking, what will I get better on my next conversation so I don't hear that again? 100%. That's how salespeople get fucked. Why they keep telling me they don't have money? Dude, everybody has money. I suck at positioning. If they tell me they don't have money, they're comparing it to something that's fucking $20 and mine's 500. So of course it's a lot. So I suck at positioning. I should be showing them an anchor of a business. That's what we talked about at the beginning. Position your business better. They don't have money, you suck at positioning. They need time to think about it, you suck at urgency. They need to speak to somebody else, you lack authority inside of the sale and you can't lead them better than they can lead themselves.
Oh, dude, yeah. This is exactly, it's what you told us on the meeting like last week. You were like, dude, we don't hear objections twice. If we're hearing an objection twice, it's because you're fucking up. You're missing something in the process.
Yeah, or it's like, what, you might keep hearing it, but like, you'll get better and better and better when you keep tweaking. Like a good cold caller is like, why do I keep hearing this? Like that's called sales insanity. Hearing the same shit, repeating the same words, and hearing the same shit. That's called sales insanity. In Instagram, you see the quotes where it's like, do the same thing, get the same results. That's called insanity. In sales, say the same shit, get the same objection. It's called sales insanity.
There's one thing. There's a tip that he gave that I wanted to use, but I haven't been able to use it yet. Where you said I don't have a follow-up policy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's roll.
Yeah, so we were talking about follow-up,
yeah,
right? So you guys want to end this on follow-up?
Let's do it.
Okay, good. So you know, when people ghost you or people say, hey, by the way, can you touch base with me next week? The first one that Moose was saying was basically saying, I told a client, or I was saying this on stage once, where I'm like, if I know the client can afford it and I know the client needs it, I'm going to be aggressive. And I have two approaches. I just got to figure out which one my intuition wants to use, which people don't use inside of sales, right? Like there's always an aggressive approach and there's always an approach where it's chill to get the truth. And I just did the chill one and the truth one on you guys. I got the truth of the objection, I kept going in.
Yeah.
But when I know I got to lead them and walk them through the sale and advance the sale forward, and somebody says, well, you know, can I think about this and you can follow up with me next week? I said, I love to. Honestly, Margaret, number one, you obviously, our organization is booming right now. There's a lot of clients right now that need insurance. There's a lot of clients right now that need XYZ. We just implemented literally inside of our organization, I think it was like 2 months ago, a no follow-up and no callback policy. And the reason being is because every single customer that we service inside of the business, we'd rather spend time servicing the customer than spend time chasing our customers. So we'd rather put our attention into people servicing them. So we implemented a no callback or no follow-up strategy or no follow-up procedure for people like you that are qualified, that need it, and that want the program. You told me in the beginning stage that you want to do XYZ. You told me you need XYZ in order to do XYZ, and you told me you want XYZ. Because you want XYZ, because you told me you need XYZ, and because you told me you need XYZ over the next 75 days, I think it just makes sense that we move forward and we actually do this today. So I do that one, I advance it. The other one, the other follow-up one, is the one when they ghost you and you follow up with an individual. So that one's on a phone call where I'm literally trying to push the person forward, and because you told me you want it, because you told me you need it, I think it just makes sense that we go ahead and we get started. That's the first one. The other one that we do is when somebody ghosts you and you're following up with them and you're like, hey, Margaret, by the way, I know I sent you off a message last week, but you didn't get back to my message. Last week I was just looking at my messages right now above, and I looked at you didn't reply to my last message. Hey, this is gonna be the last message that I ever send off to you. I'm gonna voice note her this. This is gonna be the last message that I'm ever gonna send off to you. But you know, I know if you and I lock arms, I think we can achieve XYZ inside of the business. If I don't hear back from you, and this is not on your priority list to achieve XYZ inside of your life, I'm always gonna keep selling you on my follow-up. To achieve XYZ inside of your life over the next 60 days, completely understand if it's not on your priority list right now, just let me know yes or let me know no by the end of tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. If I don't hear back from you, I'm gonna close your file, we're gonna accept a couple different clients, and I honestly just wish you the freaking best of love. Have a great day, Mary, ciao, bye. So what I do is usually that cold-hearted cutoff sometimes gets people to reply back to you. And it's hard for some people to do that, but you need closure. You need to get that because a lot of people be like, oh, I'm sorry, right? And they'll come out of the woodworks. So to me, I always say like, hey, by the way, I'm gonna leave with love. I also say like, hey, by the way, I wish you the best, you know? And I hope everything goes well. Yeah. But I always want to remind them why they got on a conversation in the first place, because nobody remembers why they talked to you. If any closers think like the person's thinking about your program, no, you're thinking about them because you're making commissions off them. Right. They ain't thinking about you. Let's just cut the crap. Right. When you're like, yeah, I got 3 closes on Friday. Dude, you think you got 3 in the bank, but they forgot about you.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is, we live in such a fast-paced world today.
Yeah.
You know, so like, they if you're making cold calls, right? Yeah. And leads are opted in. And you're like, hey, it's Jameel from Bob's program. Who? No, this is the right way to do it. Hey man, it's Jameel, how you doing? Good, and they opted into a lead. Hey, I'm sitting down at my desk right now. I think like 4 hours ago, you liked one of our posts where he was talking about doing XYZ investments. He was behind a green Ferrari. Does that ring a bell? Ah, yes. You got to remind them what the hell they engaged with. hey man, did you just like that post because you kind of were just agreeing with what he said? Or were you, did you want a little bit more information so in the future when you wanted to learn how to invest in real estate, at least you have this in the back of your pocket for the future? Which one was it? You were just kind of like supporting what he said and agreed with and you vibed out with it? Or you actually want to start something new inside of your life? Then the next line, I just agreed with what he said. Okay, perfect, this avenue. Nice, man. So what is it exactly you do? What's new inside of life, man? What do? You go to work, you go to school, boom, I'm taking the cold call to a warm call in 2.5 seconds. Oh, I wanted to invest in the program. Okay, well, I mean, that's a little bit quick. I have to go. I can't do that right now on a phone call. Unfortunately, I can't show you what we have on a phone call. But let me get some information, man. What do you do for a living? And boom, you pull back. Because when somebody says, I want to do something, the salesperson's like, okay, no. Hey, well, I can't do nothing right now. Let's just take 10 steps back. Maybe we can have a conversation at the end of the week. Maybe we can have a conversation towards the end of the week. But let me get some, let me better understand. Are you in school right now? So you pull back. Because you got the presentation is the golden bullet. And you always try to hide it. And you're always you're not trying to hide it. You're trying to hold it. Right?
Yeah. 100%.
It's beauty because like sales doesn't judge. It really doesn't, dude. Like, we're in such like, we're in this day and age, people are racist, etc. But the moment you get on the phone and you can solve somebody's problems, it doesn't judge you and accepts you with open arms. It doesn't care who you are, bro. We come from 2 different ethnic backgrounds, but in sales, it accepted us both. Right? You guys are Middle Eastern, I'm Italian. It's like, hey, come here, we don't care. Hey, Daniel, you're ADHD, ADD. So are you guys, man. You guys are more.
A little bit more than that. But
yeah, you guys are so fucking ADD and ADHD. And to think, like, what people probably thought about you guys when you were younger. Like, oh, fuck, let's write off this kid. This kid's a write-off. Right? And now, of course, people should get mad at the ADD guy making so much money. Like, my friends probably look at me from high school and be like, fuck that kid.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he was literally in the ESL class, bro. Do you know what it means to be Canadian in ESL, bro? Like, people don't get this, dude. Like, I am born English. My parents are Italian and spoke to me in English. I didn't know a lick of Italian when I was young. All I knew was English. And then at the age of 8 years old, they said, you got to go to the ESL. I'm like, well, what does that mean? And they're like, well, English is a second language. And I'm thinking like, so, okay, cool. So I go in this class and I'm sitting beside these 2 kids. I didn't know who they were. They became my best friends. One kid, his name was Alejandro from Colombia, didn't know a lick of English. My other friend was Enad from Jordan, didn't know a lick of English. So I'm thinking here like, I'm fucked. What the heck? My friend speaking Arabic to me like, yo, marhaba, kifak. I'm like, and then and my other friend's like, hola, ¿cómo estás? And I'm thinking, I speak English. And they're like, yeah, but you don't speak it good enough. And if you don't speak it good enough, you're not going to make enough money to get a good job and make enough money. So I'm like, oh shit, I'm fucked. And they're like, and also, you should ask your mom, my ESL teacher, to put you on some drugs to slow down. You need some drugs to slow down, like, some Ritalin or something, because you can't focus, you got to slow down. And I said, now I'm really fucked. And then at 14 years old, a guy comes by with a sign inside of my high school. I'm just getting into high school. Says, if you want to make $500 to $1,000 in commissions, sign up here. I go to the guy. I said, first, what does commissions mean? He's like, money. I said, oh, okay, what the fuck? Okay, yeah. I'm like, number 2, I'm like, does it matter that I was in ESL, like I'm not good at school, I'm ADD, ADHD? He says, dude, I don't fucking care. Can you work hard? I said, yeah. He said, then sales accepts you. He said, we don't give a shit who you are, where you come from, what you say. I don't give a shit. He's like, can you work your ass off on the weekends? I said, dude, I can outrun this whole school. I said, give me running shoes, dude. Like, give me running shoes. I'll fucking smoke this whole school. I was looking at this guy. I'm like, what do I got to do? He's like, you just got to knock on doors. I'm like, what do you mean knock on doors? He's like, sell something, knock door to door. I'm like, I will outrun this whole fucking school knocking door to door. I'm like, show me that. I'm like, bro, you see how small I am? I'll crush this job. I'm selling myself to this guy. I'm like, and you really don't care about my resume? He's like, we don't give a fuck about your resume, dude. Just sign up on this piece of paper. And I said, wow, and now people wonder why I'm so passionate, because I'll never forget. I will literally never forget the day I signed I put my name, my email, it was called Lil Bling with a bunch of numbers, right? Yeah. My name, my email, and I said, bro, I don't even know how to open that email, and here's my mother's number, so just call her on Friday because I'll be ready to start this job, right? I didn't have a cell phone. I'll never forget that day, because that day I put in my name and my email, it fucking changed my life. It changed my life, because I'm like, wow, what a great opportunity where it says, we don't give a fuck about who you are. You have an equal playing field here. If you can work hard and you can learn every single day, right? and you knock on more doors than everybody else and you talk to more people than everybody else, you can make the most freaking money here. And then my brain was changed since then. And that's why I go so hard training other people because I'm like, dude, if I can actually do it. I know people like look at the story and they're like, haha, yeah, ADD. I'm like, no, I was actually the kid counted out. Like if you look at my notebook, it says like, you know, I didn't actually have, like I'm small, right? And dude, I'm 5'5", 5'6". I was like 4'6", bro, in grade 12. I didn't even grow to like, I didn't grow like another like 5-6 inches, whatever, another foot to like, I was like 18, 19. I don't know why. I just had a late growth spurt, right? Bro, I would have in my agenda being like 4-foot failure. And I'm like, dude, I'm counted out in life because you think of business people, right? You're like, yo, I gotta be like Moose, I gotta be like Jameel, I gotta be like 6'5" to be good in business. I grew up watching business on TV. So I'm thinking I'm counted out. Even when I was doing good, I'm still thinking I'm counted out, right? And then I'm like, whoa, sales actually doesn't also care how tall you are. What? Dude, you guys will meet a lot as this journey goes along, right? You will meet so many fucking successful people and they'll be my height. And you'll be like, yo, what? Because you think, like, most people that are small, I'm like, dude, you don't get it, man. My manager looked at me and he's like, yo, money doesn't discriminate on height. And I'm like, it doesn't discriminate gender, it doesn't discriminate height. And he's like, if anything, you should be happy because you can run door to door. He's like, these guys gotta walk, dude, you're a fucking bullet. And I was just like, wow, dude, like every single reason I have not to become successful is his reason as to why I should become successful. I see his mindset, he's selling me on sales. Like I always had excuses to my manager. I'm like, yo, you know, Yusuf, bro. I'm like, dude, I don't know, bro, if I can work today. Arab guy, he's like, I'm like, man, I don't know if I can work today. And he's like, Mini Blood. My name was Mini Blood, right? He's like, Mini Blood. He's like, what do you mean you can't work today? I'm like, yeah, man, you know, I got some projects. He's like, dude, the projects don't pay the bills, Mini Blood. Get up, I'm picking you up at 8 a.m. And I'm like, damn, this guy always had a rebuttal for me. He always sold me on being that sales is the best. And that guy, Yusuf, I wish he like knew who I was now. He doesn't know who I am. But that guy, dude, he changed my life too, because you know, I joined that job under my brother's health insurance card. My name was Steven, right? Because I couldn't apply when I was 14. And I went up to Yusuf one day. I'm like, yo, man, I'm just going to let you guys know, like, my name's Daniel, and I'm not Steven. Like, you know, I use my brother's ID. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm 14, you know? I'm December 9th. My birthday's a late birthday. I'm grade 9. I'm not in grade 11. I lied because they said 16 plus, right? And I'm like, can you guys give me another name? I want a nickname. And I was in sales, 14 years old. He's like, all right, we're going to call you Mini Blood. And I'm like, why? He's like, well, because you're small and you're a killer. He's like, you just kill. And I'm like, what do you mean I kill? He's like, yeah, you're a killer. You're a producer. He's like, you don't bring lunch. He's like, so you're Mini Blood. And I'm like, oh, Mini Blood. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, what do you mean I don't bring lunch? He's like, yeah, broke people bring lunch to this job. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah. He's like, you kill and then you ask, where do you go eat? He's like, you ask us for the destination of where to go eat. He's like, when you made your fucking money. I'm like, wow, that's true. Because my friends would show up, dude. They'd come to the job and they'd show up with the lunchbox. And I'd be like, where'd you get that? And they'd be like, oh, my mom packed me a lunch. I'm like, well, first of all, when you get time to eat in the morning, that's the first thing you're thinking about. The first thing I'm thinking about is commission. Like, I'm not even thinking about eating. I'm like, the second thing is, Yusuf told me that if I sell somebody, I can literally walk in their house and they'd be willing to feed me if I did a good job on their lawn. So I'm like, there's no even point of lunch. Like, let somebody else fucking buy your lunch. So my thing was always, I always had that job of kill and then eat. And that's been on side of my mind forever. My job has always been like, you earn everything. So like I had to learn how to earn my lunch at a very young age in my sales job. I'm like, yo, I'm not allowed to eat until I close 4 deals because 4 deals would mean $80 and then I can go spend $5 at Subway. If literally somebody doesn't invite me into their home, okay, shame on me. That means I wasn't kind enough and I didn't do a good job. Then I can go eat at Subway. My mentality was, you make the fucking money first. Shame on you if you eat lunch and you haven't closed a deal and you're consuming dinner or you're consuming lunch and you're okay and you haven't made money. That was always I was literally, guys, I was 15 thinking about this shit. I would look at my friends and be like, first of all, people don't pack me lunches. That's a super fucking cool thing, privileged thing to get. Nobody's packing me a fucking lunch, first of all, dude. I'm packing my own lunch. My dad's too busy working, okay? So I'm like, I don't have time to pack a lunch because I'm working on my objections in the morning. Now I'm working out, you guys are packing salami and meat. Dude, I'm thinking about if this guy says if this girl says my husband does the lawn, I'm thinking about like, oh, I 150%, you know, husband does lawn, but let's save his back for the vacation that you're gonna take when I do this lawn and people are gonna sell your home for $10,000. I'm thinking about the fucking objection. I'm like, dude, you know, life is so easy when you make money. Why? Because people don't understand that money is so important because it gives you mental real estate and time. And most people aren't able to think enough inside of life because they don't have enough money. You know, the problem is that people are always stressed out inside of their relationships because they react. So they're like, babe, because they don't have enough money. But if they had money, they'd be able to think a little bit clearly. That's why money is so important, because it gives you mental real estate to think. Think of all the times people argued inside of life. It's because they don't have enough space in their head, because they don't have enough money. So they're in the beginning of the relationship, everything was fancy. It was good. But that girl or guy didn't know that you were struggling with money. And then 30 days down the road, the money starts to tighten up because you got a little bit lazy in the beginning stage of the relationship. And then 30, 60 days, bills come by, and now you start getting tense. And now you're tense in your relationship because you don't have enough money to pay these bills. And now she's like, well, why are you so tense? And maybe you as an ego and a man, you don't want to say it's about money, but now you don't got mental real estate to even respond. So you're always in reaction mode, and then you're boiling it up, and then boom, that's how relationships crack. So I think, I think money is so important because it gives you that mental real estate to be with people, to think clearly about decisions. We can't think clearly when we don't have money, man. We really can't think what we want, what's important inside of life, We can't think clearly how to respond to people because you're always trying to chase money. So it's good to make money and save money because you got mental real estate, so you don't got to chase more money. So that's why it's not what you make too as well, it's also what you keep. Because what you keep is going to give you mental real estate.
Mm-hmm. Those are two different skills.
Yeah, like, it's like, the biggest killer of a salesperson is because you can make it, you're going to spend it. And that kills every single salesperson. Because you can make it, you're going to spend it. And mental real estate is so important because all our relationships inside of life, they require thinking. And all the things inside of life that are important requires thinking. And you can't do that if you're always thinking about money. If you're always thinking about money, you can't think of anything else. So it's important to make the money, know that it's there, so you're good to chill for a week and think about other things. And you're so good that you can literally work your business on autopilot.
For sure, for sure.
All right, man.
Dude, it was a pleasure, bro.
You guys This was freaking awesome, dude. It's awesome. Hey, by the way, guys, if you guys are watching this, subscribe to the freaking Sales Bros. These guys are smashing it, okay? They're upcoming right now. They have the right systems, the right operations. These guys are freaking smashing it. Subscribe to their YouTube channel. Jameel and Moose are smashing it. These are the guys to look out over the next 5 years. If you don't know them, you're going to know them now, and you're going to know them in the next 5 years. You're going to know them in the next decade. See you guys in the next episode.
You will. Let's go.